When we heard Michelle Obama was not attending the President Trump inauguration ceremony, we asked her to come work for us here. It's about this big if you wanted to know.
Hey, buddy.
Break was over 15 minutes ago, Mitch!
Our productivity has gone up 46%.
You know you need a cover sheet on your TPS reports, Richard! That ain't new, baby!
Hey, Terry.
Hey, Janice! Get high, baby!
He fits right in here.
That's a long distance call, Doug!
Internet is the great humbler. And anybody who thinks that they have a audience, Rachel Ziegler, for instance, there's that winged victory, that embarrassing winged victory clip where she's like, people will line up to see me.
Yeah,
no, they won't.
That's right.
You know, like right? Like, no, they won't, bitch. Like,
No.
nobody lined up to see you. You have no real fans. You have no real audience, right? The internet is something that proves who's real and who's astroturfed. And there's no better example of this than Michelle Obama's launch of her podcast. Now, YouTube is a tough space. YouTube is a tough block, man. It's kill or be killed on YouTube.
Yes.
There's no faking it. And you either grind and you have talent and the audience pays you, the audience pays you back for it by subscribing and like watching and listening. You create something of a value, or you burn. And Michelle Obama's podcast is getting destroyed right now. YouTube is the main platform that is published on, and it's seeing massive ratios, virtually zero, no views except for like people clicking on the video to go check the comment section and go read the comments.
Yeah.
And man, it just seems like such an embarrassment for the establishment right now, because we were told that Michelle Obama was a messianic figure and that so many and she would probably believe this, that billions of people love her so much that they'd sit there and listen to her and her, eunuch-looking brother, who somehow looks more feminine than she does.
Brother Craig.
Talk about their childhood. She actually thought she bought, I guess she drank the Kool-Aid, Megyn.
Yes.
She thought that everyone was going to subscribe.
The same thing that happened to Oprah is happening to Michelle Obama, which is like, you've lost your power. And you're starting to realize it. You once had a huge fan base and you were the queen, and you're not. And the numbers are showing it. And your fan base has left and they've moved on to a newer model. That's the way politics in particular works, but it can work that way in television too. Oprah had the biggest audience in the world. And then she went political, completely abandoned the women and decided to make the race about race instead of her woman card, right? It was Hillary versus Barack for the Democratic nomination back in 2008. She chose to go with the race and rejected her audience, women of America of all races who had made her a billionaire. She thumbed the middle finger at them. And that was the beginning of the end for her. No one gives a shit who Oprah thinks should be in office. No one. So she got out there. She tried to campaign for Kamala and it didn't move the needle at all. She tried to do her same little Oprah shtick in her interview with Kamala, like, Kamala Harris. And people were like, why is she yelling at me? Like, that was one thing on your television in 1990. We communicate differently now. Everything's changed and she hasn't been paying attention. Okay, so enter Michelle Obama. Same. She was a rock star when she was first lady, right? The left was so in love with itself for electing a black president that everything Michelle Obama touched turned to gold. Like she had the best style of any first lady ever. No, she didn't. She was like the most glamorous. No, she wasn't. She's the most beautiful. Let's face it, she wasn't. Same way Jill Biden supposedly had the next best style. Not true. Melania, they want you to think she's unattractive and can't wear a dress. Sure. Okay, so that's what they did. Michelle Obama believed it. She believed it to the point where she named her own memoir Becoming, Benny. Who names their memoir Becoming? Becoming Michelle Obama. You see, it works in so many ways. So she decides to go out there and somebody convinced her if she had debates about whether a hot dog is a sandwich, she could sell it because she's Michelle Obama. No, they've moved on. And the right has always disliked her because they know she hates America. So now she gets out there and you mark my words, it's just going to be a matter of days before she blames this on the racism of Americans who won't embrace her. And I guarantee you she's going to be mentioning her African hair because She said when she was first lady, she wanted to wear her hair in like native African ways or ethnic like ways, but she couldn't because America was too racist and we weren't ready for it. So now she goes out with like 40 bumps. She looks like she's got tumors coming out of her skull and she looks absurd. And for noticing that, we're all going to be called racists. And that's going to be why we don't watch the show, because we're racist. Look at this. She looks like an SNL skit parody of herself.
Is this called the Stegosaurus? Do you go, give me the Stegosaurus? You just go walking in and you go, I want to look prehistoric. I want to look prehistoric is what I want. Not historic. I want to look prehistoric. I want you to find me at a museum. Catch me outside at the museum.
I don't know what's happening.
Dino Park.
So there's no mystery as to why no one wants to listen to Michelle and Brother Craig talk about what time she likes to go to sleep and how long she has guests visit and whether the hot dog qualifies as a sandwich. We've moved on.
I don't spend a lot of time at women's hair salons. I know
Stegosaurus.
you have. Can you explain? Like, what would you name this? What would you even ask for?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. It is dinosaur-esque. I haven't seen anything that beats that. I mean, when I first saw just like the front one, it looked like a satellite dish to me. Like I was thinking if I were Brother Craig, like the way this show could rate is if he leaned over to her and did this. Just to see if anything happens. Like, will it move? Does it spin? What's the thinking behind it? I don't know.
Starlink? It could be a Starlink. This is how they're
uploading.
You
mark my words. Okay. We're all gonna be racist because we don't like it.
That's right. Is it better than the pirate costume? Is it better than the pirate costume on Valentine's Day? Is it better?
Now this was just mean. I don't like
yo-ho.
This was just
a pirate's
nasty.
life for me.
I feel, like you have those moments with your spouse where like you don't, as a lady, you don't have your makeup on. For me, I'd have like the ponytail on top of the head at the end of the night. You know what I mean? Like that situation. And maybe sometimes you take a picture, like just the two of you, who cares? Or your kids take it. You don't post it on the internet. No, you don't. And yet they did. They posted it. Was it their anniversary photo, I think. And she's never looked worse. Either he didn't ask her if he could post that or he hates her. I'm not sure which, because he looks like $1 million. Look at the $1 million smile there.
Yep.
And she looks absolutely absurd. And so something is happening here. Maybe it portends of the divorce that we're reading about in the papers, or he just can't stand her, or she's lost her mirror. I don't know, but this is not right on any level.
A Snow White reference. I appreciate that. You've really, again, you've brought it all home. As a happily married man of nearly a decade now, I can tell you, post a photo of your wife like this, it's over.
Yeah,
I mean, it's over. You're sleeping not in the doghouse. You're like sleeping off property. You're not allowed.
I haven't seen like a photo fail this bad since, remember when one of the Kardashians posted an unedited bathing suit shot? It was the Kardashian who everybody thinks might be OJ's child, the really tall one. I can't remember her name. You know the one. And she was there on the internet, unedited in a bikini for a long period of time before they took it down. And we're like, oh my God, she put out her real body. What are we doing? That's not what we do. There hasn't been a photo fail this bad since then.
So I just want to end with this because there was a big event in New York, and you know about these style of events. There was a Broadway opening, and we got to see Joe Biden come out for the first time from hiding. And nobody's seen him. And we got to see Joe Biden again. And they're trying to do a soft introduction back into the political arena. And I wanted to get your thoughts on this and whether you think that it will work. The reason why is that, one, you are an expert on Jill Biden's style. And if we're going to be talking about style, here's proof of this. You know what it's like to wear literal trash bags around at all times. Now, you're not first lady. I don't know if that'll ever happen. I'm not sure. I don't know. But you do know what it's like to dress just like Jill Biden. Her and Joe were soft launching a jump back into politics. They were out in the streets. They were trying to ham it up. Joe Biden, apparently behind the scenes, is begging the DNC to take him back, to put him back out there. and I wanted to get your opinion on all of this.
It's not going to happen. Joe Biden he's been seen in public the same way that like your great grandpa was seen as like the toe tag passed by the door as they took him to the final resting place. I mean, these stories are popping up now too of him allegedly on the Amtrak where he's back, Amtrak Joe. No, the reports actually on board the train were that he didn't speak to anybody. He was all but drooling. If people said hello to him, he was oblivious to it. I mean, Jill Biden is the nastiest first lady we've ever seen. She's nastier than Hillary Clinton. Like, at least Hillary Clinton did what was right for her man. She did. When push came to shove, even though he did her dirty. She stood by him and she helped get him through his presidency. You can say what you will about Hillary as a woman, a person, and a politician, but like in the wife department, Bill's got to give her some credit. She stood by him and helped him navigate through those 8 years. Not so for Jill Biden. Like, he needs to be in a facility. Honestly, he does. Who that loved Joe Biden would allow him to be showcased in this way where you just know he's going to be the subject of mockery? And you don't need to. When you're Joe Biden, they will send you a DVD or a link to the Broadway performance. You actually don't have to show up to see it in person. Like, that's her wanting to be out there. There's a 10-year age difference. She's still young and vibrant-ish. And she wants the lifestyle she wants. And she knows that she'll get attention way more if she's with him than if she's by herself. And so she's parading him around out there like, I don't know, like some sort of a circus act. And this is not on him. This is on her. She needs to take him behind closed doors and treat him humanely in the time he has left.
Remember, Megyn, he answered every question. That's what Jill said on stage.
Oh, God.
When Joe Biden had that debate performance with Trump.
That's what you get. Awful.
He answered every question.
Well, Benny, did you see, speaking of Broadway and Joe Biden, this week, George Clooney's out there and he's playing a journalist and acting like he is a journalist and has a bunch of lectures for those in the journalism biz about, speaking truth to power and how it's really important not to fall down on the job. It's one of those democracy dies in darkness lectures while he pats himself on the back for telling us that Joe Biden was infirm, as if he turned around the night of that fundraiser, which was June 15th, and told us all, when we know he said nothing. That presidential debate in which Biden imploded happened on June 27th. And it wasn't until mid-July, when Biden was refusing to get out after all of the Democrat Party was saying he had to or they'd lose, that finally George Clooney wrote that op-ed. But asked about it in this 60 interview showing here, his response was simply, well, I was taught to tell the truth. And a lot of people in my party not telling the truth. So that's holier than thou George Clooney on another stage in Broadway where, I mean, literally no one who's not a hard left partisan will go see that.
I can't wait for the George Clooney, Rachel Ziegler blockbuster.
Oh, I just threw up in my mouth. By the way, if you want to go use the bathrooms when you go to Broadway to watch George Clooney, you can use whatever bathroom aligns with your gender identity. It's on every bathroom wall there is.
Great. Not planning on it.
Perfect.
And I do find it that it's a funny retirement center. This is where Hillary spent her last to 8 years weeping, is in Broadway. I love how it's like the de facto retirement center for washed up Democrats. Megyn, this has been such an honor. It's been really fun. It's been like sitting back and listening to a comedy routine, and it's been very interesting. And I hope that next time you come with the Michelle Obama Stegosaurus haircut style.
Benny, I have to say, I really admire what you do. I first really noticed you when you had that interview with Ron DeSantis, and you were the first to ask him about the woman issue, about what is a woman, and how do we know? And you made news with it. And I was like, who is this guy? This is fearless. It was like a great interview for you to get. It was a great get, and to go there was ballsy. You made news. I was like, I'm a fan, and I've been a fan ever since.
Well, we're a fan of you, and everybody go follow Megyn. Obviously, 3.6 million people, can't be wrong. Also, her YouTube page is absolute fire and a must-watch. Megyn Kelly, the great Megyn Kelly, who gave us one of the greatest Trump moments ever, really launching this entire era And now we come full circle. God bless you, Megyn, and Godspeed.
Thank you. All the best to you.